Hey, fabulous people. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to do the full Saturday show today because my Buckeyes are playing and I need to watch my Buckeyes. But nevertheless, oh my gosh, two major things hit today that basically solidify that the Trump presidency is over, like I've been saying for a long time. But Donald Trump actually helped Robert Mueller today, which is thank you. This is the first time I'm probably saying thank you to the imposter in the White House, but nevertheless, he helped Robert Mueller today because he decided to tweet out today something about Michael Flynn, which everybody knew he was going to say something because obviously this Michael Flynn situation is eating him alive because he knows he's about to go down in burning flames. But nevertheless, he tweets out something today and he basically says that he had to fire Michael Flynn because he had lied to Pence and the FBI. Let me say that one more time, that he had lied to Pence and the FBI. Now, this is so significant. This is actually one of the most significant admissions I have. I just can't even believe the magnitude of this ineptitude. But anyway, I'm going to play this clip that explains basically what transpired. And I'm going to talk about it after the break. Not after the break. I'm going to talk about it after I get back, after I play the clip. Okay? All right, I'll be right back.
A puzzling and potentially damning tweet from the President of the United States. President Trump now providing a newer explanation for his firing of General Michael Flynn, tweeting this: I had to fire General Flynn because he lied to the vice president and the FBI. He has pled guilty to those lies. It is a shame because his actions during the transition were lawful. There was nothing to hide. The tweet is a potential major shift from the explanation Trump gave for Flynn's dismissal back in February.
I didn't, but Mike, excuse me. No, I fired him because of what he said to Mike Pence. Very simple. Mike was doing his job. He was calling countries and his counterparts. So it certainly would have been okay with me if he did it. I would have directed him to do it if I thought he wasn't doing it. I didn't direct him, but I would have directed him because that's his job.
Okay, so what's critical here is the timeline. If the president now says he knew Michael Flynn lied to the FBI when he fired Flynn on February 13th, then why did the president ask then FBI Director James Comey to let the investigation go the very next day?
For Complex News, I'm Hanuman Welch. Donald Trump's latest tweet has sparked more allegations of obstruction of justice. On Saturday, the president took to the social media platform to defend General Michael Flynn, his former national security advisor who pled guilty Friday to lying to the FBI about his contact with former Russian ambassador Sergei Kislyak. I had to fire General Flynn because he lied to the vice president and the FBI. He has pled guilty to those lies. It is a shame because his actions during the transition were lawful. There was nothing to hide. Many politicians and political commentators said they believe that this single tweet is actually an admission to obstruction of justice. You see, Flynn was forced to resign as national security advisor back in February, and this week he pled guilty to lying to the FBI and is probably only a few weeks out from flipping and snitching on everybody in Trump's inner circle in exchange for immunity. Trump's most recent tweet implies that he was aware that the general had lied to federal authorities in the month leading up to his departure. So, if Trump knew about Flynn's crime, why would he allegedly ask former FBI Director James Comey to drop the investigation of Flynn shortly after he was...
How do human beings explain this level of ineptitude? How can someone be this dumb? You imposter, you just tweeted out that you basically tried to obstruct justice. See, this is what he didn't understand. See, this is the problem. You knew that Michael Flynn had lied to the FBI. You kept him around until February because he lied to the FBI January 24th, 2017. You kept him around. And then you fire him. You never told anybody about him lying to the FBI. Then, after the fact, after you fire him, knowing that he lied to the FBI, you ask James Comey to drop the investigation against Michael Flynn, somebody who had just committed a crime. Even a toddler, a baby would know not to tweet this out. And they're alleging that Donald Trump's lawyer told him to tweet it out. I need to see that lawyer. I need to talk to that lawyer because if you really told your client to tweet that out, then you just told your client to tweet out that they committed obstruction of justice and solidified that obstruction of justice in a tweet. And you can't say that this is in Donald Trump's words because it came from his Twitter account. See, this is the kind of stupidity that I enjoy watching because I know that it's going to help bring the imposter in the White House down. But the problem is right now for him, his presidency has always been basically effectively over since he basically took office. But nevertheless, the problem for him right now is that you just admitted to a crime. You just admitted to a crime. You should have never asked James Comey to not pursue Michael Flynn when you knew that he had lied to the FBI. Good luck saying that you did not obstruct justice. Good luck with that. Anyway, another thing happened today. I don't know if you guys know who kt-mcfarland is, but basically she was part of Trump's transition team. And she basically admits today that Trump basically won't go after Russia because Russia threw the United States election to Donald Trump. I'm going to play this clip that explains what transpired. And this might be one of the biggest stories, too, that just broke this weekend. Like, this past week has just been out of control. But anyway, I'm going to play this clip. After the clip, I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk about it. Here's the clip.
Shortly after the Obama administration had imposed new sanctions on Russia, a senior member of President Donald Trump's transition team sent an email to a colleague. In the email, kt-mcfarland said the transition team should try to reassure the country that had just thrown the election to Trump. McFarland told the unnamed colleague in the email, obtained by the New York Times, that the sanctions were aimed at delegitimizing Trump's election victory. She wrote, "If there's a tit-for-tat escalation, Trump will have difficulty improving relations with Russia, which has just thrown the USA election to him." McFarland previously served as Deputy National Security Advisor, this before she was asked to resign by H.R. McMaster.
See, the imposter in the White House told us that he was going to hire the best and the brightest, but he's hiring the biggest buffoons. The best and the brightest buffoons, right? Like, literally, these are some of the dumbest people. Like, you put in an email that Russia threw the election to Donald Trump, so Donald Trump won't be able to really go after them, or because he's trying to restore those relationships. You're trying to restore the relationship with the foreign adversarial government that just undermined the United States elections? Really? And then on top of it, you're admitting that Russia basically did interfere? So all this time that Donald Trump says he believes Vladimir Putin, because Vladimir Putin said he didn't do it. Vladimir Putin said he didn't do it, so I believe him. I really believe him because I just don't think he did it. I don't think he did it. Okay, but your transition team did. They thought that Russia threw the election to you. So now basically you're a treasonous pig is what I feel like. Because you are basically siding with Russia over your own agencies. Right? You're preferring and allowing a foreign adversarial government to interfere in the United States elections, refusing to implement those sanctions against Russia, pretending as if you didn't know that they had interfered in the election. The bottom line is he knew because he was part of it. That's my belief, 100%. And I feel the evidence is going to come out that there was collusion. Every time he says there isn't collusion, you know there was collusion. And yes, collusion is not a crime. That's not where they're going for. They're not going to go and be investigating what's not a crime. Collusion is how you start getting to the crime. That's what's happening right now. And now his team member is basically, one of his transition team members is admitting that Russia threw that election. So basically, I'm just going to say this. I've said it over and over and over again. And I'm going to say it every single time I get a chance and remember to say it. The imposter in the White House will not complete his entire term as president. He will either be impeached, they'll invoke the 25th Amendment, or he will resign. And that, my friends, is a fact. You can go to SylviaExpress.com as well. I posted a video on there about Michael Flynn that just gives a quick summary of Michael Flynn, the timeline of things that happened with Michael Flynn and why it brought him to the position where he basically had to plead guilty. So you can see that on our videos page on SylviaExpress.com. I also posted another video. I decided to post it on YouTube as well, but it basically just talks about the tax scam that just passed in the Senate. People were freaking out about it, thought that it had become law yesterday. It did not become law. There are several other stages that they have to go through before that happens. So check that video out too as well on the videos page. And hopefully this week I'll be able to do the Saturday show because so much has happened. And even there's more that keeps breaking with the Flynn story that I would love to talk about. But I'm going back to watch my Buckeyes game. And hopefully you guys, I will talk to you soon. Have a great weekend. And don't forget to go to SylviaExpress.com. Check it out. Bye, guys.